Sabbath. So today, this story is from Myanmar. You guys know it's Asian. Something like that. So the title is A School for Adult. Adult walked home from school looking as if he had lost a friend. "What's wrong?" Mother asked. "Teacher gave me a failing grade today," he said, his voice was wavering. "She saw that I didn't bow the idol when the other children did, and she told me I must bring the offering for idol to the school." Tears clouded the boy's eyes. "Son, I explained to you that we give our offering to Jesus. The money our teacher demands that you bring rice flowers for the idol and robes for the boys to wear, then do they want to become monks?" Adol nodded. He understood, but he had it when his teacher reminded him that he hadn't brought his offering. So the mother prayed, "God, what can I do?" Mother prayed. Adol's family was Christian, and Christians are a small minority in the country of Myanmar. It's the same called Burma. Long ago, the government had closed all the Christian schools in Myanmar, and the public schools favored a domain non-Christian religion. Mother knew that some private schools in the city, but they were not religious schools. She wanted Adol and his young brother and sister to get a Christian education and learn the values that taught in the Bible. "Please, God, tell me where I can send my children to school." Students. A few days later, Mother was on her way to the market when she saw some students waiting for the school bus. They were not wearing the school uniform from the public school. Mother stopped to talk to the children. "Where do you go to school?" Mother asked them. "We go to Yangon Adventist Seminary," one of the older girls said. And Mother had never heard about the Yangon Adventist Seminary and asked what kind of school it was. "It is a Christian school," the girl answered belittling. "And a Christian school in the city? Are you serious?" Mother asked like that. And then her voice was, "May I see your textbooks?" The girl opened the backpack and pulled up her textbook for Mother to see it. And then one textbook caught her attention. It was a Bible textbook. Mother flipped through the pages and smiled. "Do you guys have school telephone number?" she asked the girl, and the girl recited the school's telephone number while the adult's mother jotted it down. And Mother thanked the children and hurried toward the market, a Christian school. She thought it's always her mind. A Christian school, God, thank you for answering my prayer. And she thought her hardly able to keep the exam in check. When Mother returned from the market, she called the number the girl that had given her and spoke to the principal who had answered a question about the school. And then Mother arranged to visit the campus that week. When she arrived at the school, then she realized that it was located far from their home. But then she remembered that the children she had met were waiting for a school bus. Perhaps we can send Adol to the same bus, she thought. Mother met the school principal and then walked with him through the school. It was smaller than she had imagined, and the classroom seemed crowded. But she noticed how attentive the teachers were and how disciplined the children seems to be. And then, "This is a school for my children. This is a school for my children," Mother thought. And she remembered how expensive other private schools in the city were. She asked about a tuition about cost and was surprised it was so affordable. And that night, Mother told Father of her discovery. He agreed that the adults should enroll at Adventist school for the next school year. When the new school year started, Adol and his young sister Blessing were great. Mother went with him to school, but the first day of school to be sure that they knew their way. In the afternoon, Mother waited at the bus stop and her children's arrival. When the bus rounded the corner at the stop, Adol jumped off and ran up to his mother, and he says, "How was the school?" she asked. "It was great," he said, smiling. "I love my teacher. We pray to Jesus instead of an idol. We have bring a Bible lesson, and then I learned so much about Jesus and some new song about Jesus." And then Edel and his sister has blossomed at the Yagun Adventist Seminary when they are learning leadership skills and Christian principles that match their parents and teaching them at home. Mother has told many of her neighbors about Yagun Adventist Seminary and several and sending them children to the new school. The school has grown to more than 450 students and is quite crowded, but more families want their children to study there for Jesus in the heart of everything. And this quarter part of the 13th Sabbath offering will have enlarged Yagun Adventist Seminary so that more children can prepare to bring a future with a solid Christian education.
Number 86 in the hymnal. How great thou art. It's the first song.
When you're going through your life, look at the stuff, look at the flowers. I know somebody that does. But do all of you do that? Do you like flowers? When I was working on the garden in my life, I stopped and I looked at a really pretty rose. You know what? I thought that bush had died because it was just scraggly looking. You know, kind of like the tomato plant I have right now. It has tomatoes all over it, but the wind's just dragging the leaves on it, and it looks awful. But it's got all these tomatoes on it, and you know, there's still lice in those stems. You know, if it's really dead, it'll just snap off. But if you can still move it, you know, there's still some life in it. That's the way this rose bush was when I started looking at it real close. It wasn't. You could still move the branches, and there were little buds on there. So I took the hose and I laid it at the foot of the, at the bottom of the plant, and I just let it soak in there really slow. And you know, as it soaked into the ground, those roots, they just reached out and absorbed all that water. It was kind of like taking a drink. Did you ever just get hot and dry and running and playing and just needed some water? How'd you feel after you drank it when that cool water's going down your toes? Yeah, it feels good, doesn't it? Well, I could see the life coming back into that rose bush. Sometimes those little dry leaves will come off, and then what happens? It gets new ones on it, doesn't it? Well, have you ever seen anybody like at school or church or even at home, you know, somebody that just seems to dried up? You know, they're sad or grouchy or so some of the little kids will say mean. I think it's more ouchy than mean, but sometimes all it means is a nice word or a hug or to see us act like Jesus, because you know what? Jesus was always really nice, wasn't he? I mean, a lot of people really feel that he made them really happy. So that's what happens if we give a drink to somebody that's really thirsty or sad, you know, that they're in need of the Lord's life-giving water. So, you know, it's like a really cool and refreshing drink to somebody that's really sad and they don't know Jesus. If you tell them about Jesus, it's like giving them a cool drink of water when they're thirsty. And you know, it's just like their roots, they just reach out and grab that water you're giving them. And you can see life come to them. Sometimes their eyes are sad, and all of a sudden you just like they're sparkly and happy. And it's like they're just becoming alive again. And it's all because you said something nice to them, right? Or give them a compliment, or tell them about Jesus, how much he loves them. Some people don't know that. You know, we think that everybody knows that because we do, but you know, everybody doesn't really realize that. So we want to always take time to do that. If you see somebody feeling really sad, what are you going to do? Give them a drink of life-giving water. How do we do that? Tell them, honey. That's right, you tell them about Jesus. Thank you.
First thing I gotta ask, does anybody have a couple AAA batteries? Okay. All right. We'll do this the hard way then. Is this microphone working?
Yeah.
A little bit. Okay. I noticed the air conditioning's working, and I'm real thankful for it. How many people know what this weekend is? I know. Don gave away half my sermon. So anyway, what do you have planned for this weekend? Nothing.
I want home with my mom.
Okay, good.
With my family.
I want to change that. I want to change that. I want you to have something to do this weekend. Anyway, we're going to have to kill a couple lights here. Everybody see now?
Not so good.
Getting any better?
No.
Russell, will you shut off that light over there?
Thank you. Now I can see better.
All right. What kind of a sermon title is that? Different. Brings a chuckle, doesn't it? And you got to think, what do those three things have in common? Headstones, tattoos, and the Indy 500. I want to explore that just a little bit today. First, we're going to start with a quiz. You're not supposed to give away the answers, Deb. But can you name the logo? Anybody here that can't name that logo? Okay, let's try something a little more difficult. Shell gasoline, okay?
Wow. That's a history on that one.
All right. What does RC stand for? Royal Crown Cola. Okay. What do these two things have in common? Can you make that out? The tattoo on the guy's back, if you can't read that very much. Yes, it is. He lost a loved one. How about these two? Can you read that one? Till I join you. And there's a name up on top that I can't even read myself.
That one's that Calvin.
And then Carmen on the side. Now we're going to take a little quiz again. Name that monument. We have things all around us that are set up to help us remember things. How about this one? Thank you. Somebody knows the name. Oh, back up. Okay, that's right. Good guess, right, on this weekend?
Yeah.
Why is it that we need things to remind us?
Because they're worth
Forget.
Have to remind your family.
That's right. You have to remember your family. You have to remember things. Do you remember everything? I don't remember everything. One of Wes's favorite things is to say his memory consists of what's written down. And I believe that's true for so many of us. If we don't have some sort of a monument or some sort of a thing sitting out there, we're going to forget. And some things are too important to forget. Oh, a young person got that one. Why do we want to remember Mount Rushmore? Who knows? How about this one? This may be a little harder. Thank you. You got it right. The Arizona Memorial for Pearl Harbor. Does this you help any? If you've been there, they've got a little sign that says that it drips out, it leaks a drop of oil every so often. And they say it's the tears of the guys that are still entombed inside. It's a very humbling and awe-inspiring event to actually go to one of these kind of memorials. And to see what has, and imagine what has taken place before you. And to realize the sacrifice that some people have made. You know, we have, kids today have lots of fun with video games, and there's a lot of shooting and killing and stuff that goes on in these video games. And I think they don't realize how close to reality some of that is. You know, one of the real popular ones is Call of Duty. You know, there's a bunch of military guys, they're out shooting a bunch of people, and movies today don't give true justice. I mean, the special effects and everything are getting so realistic that we almost feel like we're there when arms are torn apart and heads are taken off and things like that. But we don't realize that that really happened to somebody's dad, somebody's brother, somebody's uncle, maybe somebody's sister, somebody's mom in today's war. How about this one?
Memorial.
It's the 9/11 memorial is what it was. How many people remember where you were when that happened? I thought it was like a TV show. The news coverage, and to see the towers blow up and to see them come down. It's like it wasn't even real. But today we realize how real it was. Not only for the people that died in the fire there, but for the other people that died in the 9/11 disaster as well. And for all the firefighters and police officers and stuff like that that died as well.
He's looking at me, quiet.
But what do all these things have in common?
Loss.
Loss. All of those are names that were lost. We can't even fathom 50,000 people being killed in the war. You know, there's a lot of complaints today that we've lost about 4,000 soldiers during the Iraq-Afghanistan war that's been going on. And people think, oh, it's a tragedy, it's a tragedy. During World War II, people were lost like that in a day, in an hour. And what did these people die for? All of these things have in common is that they're put there to help us remember the people that have gone before us and the people that have sacrificed to help us have freedom. What do you remember? I don't remember too many things. But I know monuments help. They come in different sizes. You see the little one and the big one. Somebody really wanted to be remembered, didn't they? Different materials. Have you ever been out west? You've seen these little stone things that are piled up? All little memorials. And how many times have you driven down a highway and seen a little roadside marker? Someone's lost a loved one there.
Oh.
They come for different reasons. Can you make out the little one to the right? It's pretty famous artwork. It's a memorial to the dead roach. Can you see him right there in front? My clicker's not working, otherwise I could put him up here. Yeah. Yeah, it's a dead roach. If you look it up on the internet, there's several times that they've placed this in window ledges and wherever.
In this country now? In this country?
Yeah, New York.
Oh.
Yeah. They can be simple or they can be, ow. I don't have any tattoos. Don't have anything against people who have tattoos, but that gotta hurt. That's gotta hurt. They're there to help us remember. You know, one thing that I can comment about people that I know that have tattoos, most of them have some sort of meaning behind it. And most people want to show them off. Right? It's like women and jewelry. Look at what I just got. And people at work will come in and say, oh, hey, look at the tattoo I just got. What's that all about? And I see people all the time that they've got tattoos. It's like the birth of their kids, or their marriage date, or the death of someone, all to help us remember. And what do we remember? Do you remember the sacrifice that was made on a cross long before any of us were born? Do you remember the sacrifice that was made in a field maybe yesterday? I can't imagine carrying this stuff around in 100 and some degree heat. There are memorials for peace, there's memorials for war, there's memorials for everything. In your own life, you have peace, you have war, you have love and hate, joy and sorrow, laughter, pain, good times and bad times. But what do you choose to remember? Scientists tell us that everything we've ever seen, smelled, heard, or experienced is in your brain. So why is it we can't recall everything that's there? Why is it that we block some things out and we bring other things to the forefront? Do we remember the joyful moments? Do we remember the pleasure of seeing our little ones take their first steps? Their first words? Do we remember the angry words that somebody spoke to us last week in church? Or the gruff demeanor of someone that we were working with? What kind of memorials are you making? I'm guessing nobody's making the wood and stone kind of memorials, like they did in the Old Testament times. Remember when Noah got off the ark? What was one of the first things Noah did? He sacrificed, but what did he sacrifice on? He built an altar. Now, what's another word for altar? Memorial. Look throughout the entire Old Testament, everywhere they went, everything they did, they said, let's build a memorial. So we want to remember this day. They knew they'd forget, just like we forget. We're making memorials in our own life, too. Now, I'm not saying that we're all going out getting tattoos every time we have a kid that's born or something like that, or a grandchild. But we're making mental memorials. The things that we dwell on, the things that we think about. Every time we see someone, we think certain things about them. Every time we hear someone's voice, we think certain things about them. That's a memorial. It's a memorial in your mind. It's a memorial that tells you how to behave and how to act. What to think of and what to do next. God has a memorial too. The seventh-day Sabbath. And have you ever asked yourself why God made a memorial like that? I've already read this. But this is from the Message. It comes out a little bit different. Observe the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Work 6 days and do everything you need to do. But the seventh is the Sabbath to God, your God. Don't do any work. Not you, nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your servant, nor your maid, nor your animals. Not even the foreign guests visiting in your home, in your town. For in 6 days God made the heaven and earth and the sea and everything that is in them. He rested on the seventh day. Therefore God blessed it. Blessed the Sabbath day and set it apart as a holy day. As a memorial. No stones, no bricks, no mortar, no wood, no little flowers. Just a day. A day like any other day, except it's surrounded by so much meaning. This particular one from Exodus said that Exodus 20 says that God is our creator, that God made everything. If you turn over to Deuteronomy, you find it read a little bit differently. Don't ever forget that you were slaves in Egypt, and God, your God, got you out of there in a powerful show of strength. That is why God, your God, commands you to observe the Sabbath day rest. Bring that into modern times. Any of you here slaves in Egypt? One person started to raise their hand. Egypt is the way the world does stuff. Egypt is an alternative lifestyle to God's lifestyle. And each one of us have been slaves or maybe even willing servants in that other way of living. But God has provided a means to rescue you, me, all of us, from that way of living. To take us out of the doldrums and to take us out of the superstition, to take us out of the bad thought processes that plague so many of us, that make us build memorials to bad things, and to give honor and glory to bad things, and to do things differently. Just remember, whether you're young, whether you're old, or maybe somewhere in between, someone has fought for your freedom. In this life, who knows this one? You and your mom. And in the one to come. Now you may think it's inappropriate to give an analogy comparing God to a soldier. But what did Jesus and veterans have in common? They both have left their home to fight in a hostile land. They both fight for other people who cannot. They both finish a battle that they didn't start. And they are largely underappreciated for the sacrifices that they have made. And both have paid price. I think it's easy in our insulated, sterile lifestyle that we're in to think that something didn't really happen, that it's only a movie. When you watch a movie about the life of Christ and the death of Christ, throughout that whole thing you tell yourself, it's only a movie, it's only a movie, it's only a movie. When you watch war movies and you see all the terrible gore, it's only a movie, it's only a movie, it's only a movie. There are people that got up and walked out on movies because they're so gruesome, because they couldn't tell themselves, it's only a movie, it's only a movie. In each of us, we have to recognize at some point, it's not just a movie. People are actually dying every day for your freedom. It may be a soldier, maybe a sailor, maybe an airman, maybe a police officer, a fireman. And Jesus has already died for each and every one of us. Both of them ask us to remember. Our Lord asks us to remember Him today and every seventh day on the Sabbath. Our brothers and sisters want us to keep Monday. What do you look forward to this weekend? What do you look forward to on Memorial Day? Is it the picnic? Is it the pie? Is it the fried chicken? Is it the hot dogs? Can you read the caption on the back, on the bottom there? And you complain about the price of gas. What about the Indy 500? I haven't mentioned that yet, have I? It always runs the day before Memorial Day. Always does. You know, Memorial Day was set up in about 1865, and it was done by a group of women who thought it was important to honor the fallen soldiers. And it's been with us ever since. How do you choose what you do to remember? It's up to you. You can set up a little memorial. See, there's flowers and wreaths and things like that. This guy put a big tattoo of Jesus on his back. Can you see Jesus on the cross and the tattoo? But it should be more than days playing at the beach or the 70% off sale. Celebrate with savings. Remember those who are here for you. Don't forget for 1 second, this is an ongoing struggle. Here in this life and in the life to come. Jesus is our advocate in heaven. He speaks for us. He intervenes in our lives. And all the soldiers and sailors and airmen and National Guard, and I don't want to leave anybody out, but firemen and policemen, people that work EMS, people that work the 911 call centers and stuff like that. You know, you hear bad reports about them falling asleep and things like that. You know, they've got a tough job to do, and we need to give them some recognition. Tomorrow's the day, well, not tomorrow, tomorrow's the Indy 500. Monday is the day when we're supposed to remember them. Please do so in a respectful way. And then have your picnic. Then have your day at the beach. Then enjoy the day as it's set out to be. Nobody wanted it to be a long, mournful procession. But just take time to remember of the people that have made a sacrifice on your behalf. Our closing hymn is number 189. 59, I'm sorry. I always want to say 189. 159. I don't know 189.